Hi everyone, I am Ange, and if you are new to this channel, please click the like button and subscribe and click that little bell so you can get notified whenever I post some videos. Today I'm a little nervous and I'm trying to calm down because I wanted to talk to you about something we often keep quiet yet affects us in so many ways, which is the weight of being a breadwinner, or should I say the hidden weight of being a breadwinner. Whether you're supporting a family, helping loved ones back home, or simply just carrying the financial load in your household, it's a role that comes with pride and also pressure. So, if you ever feel alone in this journey, I hope this video reminds you that you are definitely not alone and you are understood. So, stay tuned and stay with me until the end because I'll share a gentle promise that I'm learning to hold on to this season. And also just because I have been a breadwinner for so long, my entire life. So I feel you are not alone. So the question is, how would we define or how would we categorize whether or not we are a breadwinner or who is a breadwinner in the family? So basically, this is just my opinion, just a disclaimer. For me, a breadwinner is someone who has a certain burden in the family. And when I say a certain burden, it doesn't equate to financial. Again, this is my opinion because probably the reason why it was equated to financial is because of the term bread. But somehow I still think about, whether or not you are the one, putting together the family emotionally, also putting the bread to the table as a breadwinner, no matter how you do it, whether it's financial and so on, it's still, for me, it's a breadwinner. So that is my definition of a breadwinner. All right, let's start with why being a breadwinner feels so heavy yet so hidden. And it's somehow contradictory because being a breadwinner entails so much emotions. We don't want, or we don't always talk about it because first and foremost, we are grateful for the ability to provide. So like me, as an example, I have been praying to God for so many years, even when I was a student, because I totally get it that we are not born with a golden spoon. But still, I acknowledge the hard work that my parents are actually doing. So I've prayed for this, and God gave it to me. He made me a stream of His blessings. But on the other hand, I somehow feel guilty admitting that it's hard because it is hard. It's difficult. But still, we are grateful. So that is the contradictory that I'm actually saying. And we don't want to appear weak. Let's face the reality. We don't want to. Especially if other people depend on us. We have to be always strong. We have to keep this brave face that yes, we can do it. Yes, we have the power to do it. Yes, we are used by God to do it, And also, on the other hand, we worry people won't understand the emotional weight that comes with that financial responsibility. There is this silent expectation that we just need to handle it. We should just handle it. Smile, keep working, keep giving. Anyway, you're the one blessed, But inside it can feel like a constant pressure to keep up. The anxiety about the future, not being able to sleep at night, guilt over saying no to family members or friends, and also the fear of letting people down if we can keep providing at the same level. Oh God, yeah. Story time. I mentioned a while ago that I am very nervous about this topic, firmly because I respect the role and the hard work that my parents put in our lives, in our family, and I wouldn't be who I am. My siblings wouldn't be who they are if my parents weren't there to support us. I was so blessed with hardworking parents. And by hardworking, I meant my mom gets up every day very early just to prepare meals for us ever since we were kids. And my dad, on the other hand, that is where I got my work ethics. He's very hardworking. He's very committed to this, to any job that he has. He's very dedicated. And so I don't want to just claim that role of being a breadwinner just because I have been blessed to provide somehow in this season, and also at the same time, I have a very big family. I have many siblings. I have 6 siblings, and each of us, I wouldn't say that I'm the only breadwinner, because every one of us has, I'm really blessed. Everyone has this certain role in the family to take on. It's everyone, I felt like everyone kind of lifted one rock in our family, which is their purpose. So one is doing administrative things or tasks for the family. One is in the medical field, and so she has more knowledge when it comes to medical stuff, which I do not have. One is constantly calling my parents every day, which I cannot do. And so every one of us had picked some beautiful purposes in the family, and that they can claim as well for themselves to be a breadwinner. But you know what? I'll specifically cover the financial part of it, okay? Because a lot of people could probably resonate when it comes to the financial part, because the financial part or financial aspect of a family, I think this is something that people get anxious about. Money, and yeah, so story time. I've carried this role for so many years. As soon as I got off college or university, as soon as I graduated, I said to myself, every bit of my salary I would dedicate to make sure that my family would be sufficient. They would feel prosperous. They would feel that we don't necessarily need to borrow anymore. Of course, it took us a lot of years, and I wouldn't say that we are now financially, very, 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 very stable, but still, we have jobs to help us get through the day. And so this is what I always tell myself, you can do it, even if you're lacking, even if you're lacking, God is there. As you know, I've told you so many times, I'm proud and grateful of that. But other times I feel like I'm living 2 lives. Outwardly, people see me as capable, high achieving, always managing, empowered woman. That's me on the outside. But inwardly, I'm balancing these quiet fears, wondering if I'm doing enough, or if I'm burnt out, or if there's something that I can offer today. Or, I also think about, what would my role be if I'm not this breadwinner? And it just makes me sad a little bit. It's an emotional work. Being a breadwinner, it's not just financial, it's emotional work. And it's, waking up at night worrying about bills, savings, and whether you're giving your loved ones the life that they deserve. I also came to a point in my life where I tried to say no to some things, and it's very, very hard for me. Being a breadwinner, you are wired to say yes. And we don't bring it to everyone's face, of course. It's just us naturally. We are wired to say yes. And somehow it's holding the weight of family expectations, cultural pressures, and your own dreams all at once. Like, I sometimes think about, when would I have my own family? I have met so many breadwinners in my life. Some I am still in contact because they do feel what it feels like to lack and to be your own backup. Here's the truth. Carrying the load can impact more than just our bank accounts. I tell you, it's just more than our bank accounts. It can also affect our mental health, physical health, relationships, sometimes our self-worth as well, like measuring our value on how much we provide. But yet we keep on going because we love the people we're supporting. And it doesn't mean it's easy or we should do it alone. That's what I said a while ago. I love being a breadwinner, and I feel like it's a beautiful purpose. I'm very thankful again for my parents, and I'm very thankful for my siblings for being very supportive and taking on what they can take on. But look, hear me out. Over time, I've learned a few gentle truths that can help lighten my load. Maybe they'll help you too. Number one, you are more than what you provide. So I have learned to have this affirmation in my head saying, you are more than what you can provide. You're more than what you can provide. You're more than what you can provide. Because sometimes I feel like, who am I outside of this? Am I loved outside of this? Am I loved more than what I can give? This is the thing. Your worth isn't tied to your paycheck or how much people you can support. I understand that we are a yes person, but you're valuable simply because you exist. And so whether or not you remain being a breadwinner or you step outside of this responsibility, you are more than what you can provide. And that is the truth. Number two, I can't believe I will say this. Boundaries are acts of love. When I say that, I meant it's okay to say no sometimes, even to family members. You know what? I have to learn this very hard because there was one time that I can remember somebody from my family is reaching out for a little bit of help. And so I had to say no, and during the time that I was saying no, I was crying, all because I wanted, to say yes. And saying yes makes me happy. But still, on the other hand, it's not selfish at all. I had to learn that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot say yes, 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 and it's on autopilot. I have to reevaluate in saying yes or no because I know you can find a way. Or maybe, what I told one of my siblings, I said, I wanted you to learn to direct first to God before coming to me. Because, of course, as much as I could, I would say yes. But I want the yes to come from God first. And it will make me feel better if I say yes. So yeah, that's a little bit emotional for me. I try not to cry. Number three, so if you have a community with you or you have, your close friends, that you can share your story with. Share your story. Find spaces, friends, community, or even faith. Just talk to people about what you're carrying. It lightens the load when you feel seen, you know? If you just let it out, there could be a very beautiful light on top of that. And I should also say that, you know, when you were giving, or if you say no, in relation to number 2, if you say no, it is worth explaining to them why you said no. Because that will help you not just justify, but find reasons why you also said no, and maybe reevaluate too. And I don't know, maybe there could be something better out of it, you know? And number 4, faith brings perspective. For me, leaning on God has been my ultimate anchor. It's God, 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 all of the time. The first one should be God. And I wouldn't say I always succeed in doing so, because I'm human and sometimes I do tend to forget. But still, it reminds me that, you know, God is not late. He's not absent at all. He's already working behind the scenes, even if we cannot see it. And sometimes the weight feels so heavy. But with God, I trust that I'm not carrying it alone and that He's there all of the time. So when I feel like I cannot do it anymore, I clasp my hands and I pray. And I say, God, I cannot anymore. I wanted you guys to feel that you're not alone in this. It may sound cliche, but you aren't. And I also don't want you to be in that position where all the bits and pieces of yourself are gone and you don't have anything for yourself. And I wouldn't say that I don't fall in that position. I do a lot most of the time. But this is me communicating with you that we can do this. And there is one promise that I can let you know. And I'm a testimony of this. And I know that God will repeat this to me over and over again in my lifetime. Guys, if you're a breadwinner, no matter in what aspect, God will bless you multiple times. I can tell you, not even 10 times, multiple times than what you have given. And I am a testimony of it. It is true that if you give, you will receive. I can remember a Bible story, which is a story of Job, wherein God took away a lot, almost everything in his life, except his life. And God brought it back twice, 10 times, more than 10 times than what he hoped for and prayed for. And God can do that multiple times, forever, eternal in our lives. I don't want to cry here, but yeah, that's true. I can tell you. I'm a living testimony. I never lacked anything ever since I embraced becoming a breadwinner. I never lacked. Maybe it's just in my head that I am lacking. But ultimately, I wouldn't say that, like I'm overflowing and all. But when I need something, I just pray. It's hard. It's a mental battle over and over again. So yeah, I don't know how you guys would receive this message, but I would be happy to talk about this all over again. And I have much respect for parents, for family members. who are breadwinners, and also at the same time like can acknowledge those who have embraced becoming a breadwinner. I have much of a high respect for all of you. So if you're watching this and you're a breadwinner, whether for your children, for your parents, for your siblings, for other family members and relatives, or a partner, or even just for yourself, look, I see you. And I want you to remember, you're not failing if you're tired. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to reevaluate. And you're worth so much more than what you provide. And promise me one thing. Take at least one gentle moment for yourself today. Breathe. Pray. Do your hobbies. Walk. Do something that reminds you that you're not just a provider. You're a whole human being. Becoming who you're meant to be. Becoming the purpose that God has put in you. And it's very soon. If you're not there yet, it's very soon. All right. Thank you for being here. I think this is my first emotional video. And I would like to thank you if you reached this stage. And if this resonated with you, please leave me a comment below, or hit the like button. And feel free to subscribe because it makes me happy. I do have a very, very few subscribers right now, and I would really love it if you can watch and subscribe and like, and it will keep me going and share with you more about my experiences, more about what I learned, what I consume in media, what I read, the books that I read. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's a very beautiful day. The sun is there, so you can see here in my head, it's hitting my face. Thank you so much for being with me. Until then, stay gentle to yourself and watch my other videos, which is here. cluelessange@gmail.com.